What's up, guys? Week 2 of Oktoberfest. I got 3 more beers to try, and it's coming up right now. What's up, guys? Sargent Suds here again. Week 2 of my 4-week Oktoberfest challenge. Do me a favor, if you're into beer and you like what you're seeing, subscribe to my channel and give me a like. There'll be more stuff like this coming up in the near future, and I'd love to see you back again. So as I said, week 2 of Oktoberfest. If you haven't seen the week 1 video, I'll have a link somewhere up here for you to take a look at. 3 beers today, 2 from Texas, 1 from California. Be interesting to take a look at. Sierra Nevada, very, very well known. Karbach was one of the faster growing brands. Was acquired by AB InBev, I believe, back in the day. And 9 Band, a little bit smaller, but here in San Antonio, Texas, you do see quite a bit of their beer around. So you know what? Let's go ahead. We'll start with the Carbox. Get my trusty glass. Now, I haven't tasted the beers today as of yet, and the beer review itself will be an aside, but I'm going to go ahead and give Carbox some points to start with, just because I think they have the best packaging of the 3 beers today. This is a very, very nice can. But will the beer match the packaging is the question. Okay. It looks like it's a little lighter than what I would expect from Oktoberfest. The 3 beers last week were a bit on the sort of darker amber side, and it's bubbling a fair amount, but that could be a little bit of me more than anything. Hang on, let me get some of this for him. Okay, so, oh wow. So what we're seeing, the head is growing back pretty quick here, so it's a nice dark color, very, very highly carbonated compared to some of the other Oktoberfest beers. And the notes are very malty. It doesn't really have anything else going on from an aroma standpoint. I'm expecting this to be kind of like a slightly deeper lager, slightly toasted malts. Let's see how it tastes. It's nice and crisp and refreshing. It has a little bit more of a bite than I actually anticipated, but it is still quite light on the flavor. As I said, sort of the toasted malt kind of thing that you would expect from an Oktoberfest beer. Has a very light mouthfeel, very crisp and refreshing. There's a tiny little bit of hop that didn't really come through in the smell, but is present in the flavor. It's a pretty easy drinker. I imagine, if you're someone who doesn't like super bitter, super hoppy beer, this would be a pretty good choice for you. I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest with you. Not bad at all. Alrighty. Next up, let's go with the 9 Band. So as I said, 9 Band Brewing, Texan. Interestingly enough, they're calling their Oktoberfest the Ghost Cow, and they've always got some really interesting can designs. Another one of their beers I tried fairly recently was their Cactus Kolsch. The design was really, really interesting on that one. All right, let's see. This one looks like it might come out. Yeah, it looks like it's a little darker. It's not firming up quite as much. Okay. Well, I spoke a little soon on that, because there comes the head. I'm noticing a much darker body. Very little carbonation, but nice fluff there. Again, mostly malts, nothing too crazy. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, this one has a much, much deeper, more developed flavor profile. The toasted malts really come in strong. It's got that really kind of, I don't want to say burnt flavor, but the toastiness of it is the main thing coming through here. It's a little on the earthy side. Again, not super bitter at all. Slightly sweet though, which is an interesting combination. I wouldn't expect the kind of toasted maltiness to be paired with such a sort of sweet flavor. I will say that the body, the mouthfeel, is a lot deeper, a lot thicker than what we saw with the Karbach. And just to give you a little bit of a comparison, I mean, you can see a pretty significant difference You got the Karbach, more lightly colored, more highly carbonated, bubbling away still. You got the 9-band, much deeper color, more brown than amber really, and very, very little carbonation. Slightly hazy, yeah, a little bit. It's an interesting beer. One of the more developed and I suppose complex flavors I've tried from the Oktoberfest series so far. This is a brand that really needs no introduction if you're a beer drinker, even if you haven't tried Sierra Nevada before. If you've been in a beer aisle in the United States, or if for that matter, many other countries in any time in the last, 10 years or so, you are almost certainly familiar with Sierra Nevada, their Torpedo IPA, bits and pieces like that. So let's see how this one shows up. Oh wow, this is a very light color. This almost looks more like what I would expect from a Summerfest or a summer beer, but it does have a little bit of a coloration to it. Let's see. Again, building quite a big head, very, very highly carbonated. Smells like malt, but not toasted malt like the other ones have done. So let's see how this tastes. So this one again, the taste is pretty similar to what I expected from the flavor. Very malty. Kind of tastes almost like more like what Americans would consider a malt liquor or like a heavier lager. I mean, the flavor profile is a little more developed than most lagers you would anticipate. Has a little bit of hoppiness to it. Is very, very malty, but as I said, there's no real toasted kind of taste to it, and the coloration again, you know, fairly similar to the Carbox, and a lot lighter than the 9-band. But as you can see, the Sierra Nevada, man, that thing is bubbling away. It's crazy. Realistically speaking, though, I mean, I'm not sure what it is about Sierra Nevada's Oktoberfest offering, but it's not really Oktoberfesty to me. As I said, this is pretty much a lager, you know, a year-round kind of lager. It's a bit deeper than what you'd see in the summertime, you know, the season we're just moving out of now. But it's definitely more kind of typical lager taste, maybe a little deeper, but nothing too crazy. Okay, so how are we going to rank these today? Well, as you may have guessed based on my my discussion just now, Sierra Nevada is coming last. And what's interesting, looking at these two, you know, I'm going to have to go ahead and rank Ghost Cow second. That's the 9-band. And Carbox first. And this is purely a matter of preference. The reason I say that, you know, the toasted malt, it's not bad. I think the 9-band maybe put a little too much into it for my liking, and the sweetness is kind of odd to me. But the Karbach is a really well balanced brew, nice and tasty, not overly bitter. If you're a big hophead, you may be more inclined to go for the 9-band than for the Karbach. But all in all, 3 reasonably good brews. Karbach takes the win this week. So there you have it, guys. Week 2 of Oktoberfest. Be sure, as I said earlier, if you like what you see, give me a like, subscribe. Week 3 and 4 coming up in the not too distant future. Love to see you back here again, and until then, cheers.